All right, so just got done seeing Fantastic Four: First Steps, and before the movie started, I was thinking of other reasons that led me to watching this. I've really liked Vanessa Kirby in the last few Mission Impossible movies, so she was something I was looking forward to. Not something I was looking forward to, but I was definitely looking forward to her presence in the movie. I did like the 60s aesthetic that it had, from what little I saw of it. And I thought it looked really interesting. And I thought it was set in the 60s because I've seen very little of it. So I actually thought it was set in the 60s, not in the future. But that was an aspect of the movie that turns out was really, really well done. The way it kind of intermingled future tech with like old style, not old style, but 60s style. Boy, surely they're going to try to sell the record player that was in the movie, because that little design and everything, I mean, people, if it was a really good quality too, that would be something else, because that could probably sell a lot. A lot of things, you wonder, will 60s style come back at all because of this movie? Will it be something, maybe a small handful of people will try to buy some stuff from the 60s? I don't know. But I like that. I like the record player. Some of the other worries that I had going into this movie was I did watch the scene, because normally I would not watch a scene, but since I really didn't have any intention on watching this, I saw the scene where they're getting ready to have dinner, and it felt like that scene was being played for like laughs or something like that, and it felt weird the way that the preview, the way it was kind of like jump cut edited to make it feel like that. And the overall marketing for the movie, it felt like there was too much of it. I didn't really, from what I saw of the trailer, it did not seem like it was just going to be all that good whatsoever. And then just I don't know. They could have done a much better job of making me want to see this movie more. But thankfully I did, because I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic Marvel movie. It's not without its issues. To kind of get some of those out of the way, the first third of the movie feels really rushed. There's like this one character that kind of briefly, I believe briefly appears, and then all of a sudden they become like a character, but only slightly, and it feels like their introduction as a character was missing, and maybe someone else, maybe another character's introduction as a character was missing. It felt like there's just like a lot taken out of the first third of the movie. Now, it doesn't hurt the movie that much. It definitely, the way they present the beginning of the movie and introduce you to the characters is good. It's better than, I hate to compare it to Superman, but but the way they set up the characters was way better than Superman. And not that Superman had to have this huge origin story, but something better than text anyway. And this, even with that limited first third, it still sets up everything for the most part. Really, really good. The action scenes are really good, because unlike Superman, which I really did not like, there was plans to the action scenes. You could tell what characters are thinking and what their plan was through just minimal dialogue and understanding, what the goal of each action scene is. And sure, there's moments that there's dialogue that tells the audience what's, kind of like what's happening, but it's actually for the benefit of the movie. because it doesn't dwell on over-explaining things. The movie uses a lot of quick dialogue talking about scientific things that just it makes it easier for a character here or there to kind of say something, to kind of quickly say, okay, here's what all that means. Let's get a move on. And it does fly through everything. And the best thing that it does is fly through the jokes, because this is a movie that very few Marvel movies are as good with comedy as this one. I'm not saying that it's a comedy. It's not if I'm going to sit down and watch a comedy, I'm not going to watch this. But the comedic lines in it are very natural. They fit the characters. They help with building up who these characters are. And none of them, there's not one single moment where comedy starts falling flat and then jokes don't go on. The jokes come and they go as soon as they come, and they move on to the next dialogue or the next part of the action scene or whatever the case is. But so most Marvel movies really fail in that territory for me, and I was so glad that the comedy worked in this. I have very little bad to say, really. I was totally into the movie. There was things I read also beforehand talking about is Sue Storm going to be the leader of the Fantastic Four, and like they were trying to bring that out as like some big thing. And mind you, I don't know anything about the Fantastic Four, so I never really, I think I kind of understood Reed Richards was the leader, especially in that one movie where so many of their Marvel movies get me mixed up, but there was a movie, wasn't a Doctor Strange movie where Reed Richards appears, and then the casting got people kind of all wondering about it, and then is Reed Richards going to lead the Fantastic Four and all this stuff. No, he definitely appears as the leader in the movie, and in multiple scenes that is very apparent, so nothing wrong with that whatsoever. There is a lot of things that's really handled really, really well in the movie. The whole baby aspect of it from the beginning to the end is really well done. So and then the mid-credit scene is interesting. I'm sure most people who watch the movie is going to know what that mid-credit scene means. I didn't have a clue, and I didn't see the very end credit scene. I don't know. That'll be something I look forward to seeing when I buy the 4K, because I will definitely get this, and the Avengers Doomsday. I'm kind of tepid on that, but I'm interested in that right now because of this. Like I said, the only things that really bothered me was that first third just seemed to be. I wanted to see more of that world. I wanted to see more of daily life in that world, I guess. And that's kind of like one of those negatives, but kind of turns out to be almost a positive. But I still categorize it as they could have done, and I wonder what was edited out of the first third. And they don't do extended cuts of mini movies nowadays. I just saw Megan 2.0 is getting an extended 4K release, which I didn't watch that movie, but yeah, it seems like about 15 years ago or so, extended cuts, they were almost expected in a lot of movies. But I would like to see an extended cut of this. But yeah, let me know what you thought below. If it was a big surprise, that was the biggest thing to me. It wasn't just a big surprise one of the reasons why I wanted to watch it was because I was sure that it was going to be better than Superman. But it wasn't just that; it was because it was a big surprise. It was actually very good, and I highly recommend it. So I'll catch you on the next one.